Q103, Albany's rock station. We're on the line right now with Taylor Momsen, the front woman for the Pretty Reckless. Taylor, how's your day going so far?
So far, so good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on that boat. So let's talk a little bit about the new record. Who you selling for, doing super big things right now. I mean, you came out of the gate with Take Me Down, just blowing up all over the place. And that one made you like the #1 female-fronted rock band to have like 4 consecutive singles. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct, and it's pretty crazy.
Right? I feel like you got to hit #5 with Oh My God Now.
Fingers crossed, but, you can't. Luck goes up and down.
Right, that's true. It's kind of crazy to think, like, I mean, you guys have been around for a while, but you're still fairly young, and you have so much time to go, and you're already breaking these barriers. Is that kind of a weird feeling to have?
It's a very strange feeling to have. I'm so strange that I'm not really sure how to wrap my head around it, because I'm not even sure what it means. I mean, to me, it's an amazing feeling to know that many people have connected to something I wrote in my bedroom.
Right.
So, to me, it feels like I've succeeded at my job.
Absolutely. So I've been reading a little bit and listening to some interviews that you've done talking about the new record. And you stated that you guys really made it a point to kind of bring humanity back to the music with this new album. And that you even hired studio musicians to record with you while you guys were recording it. I'm just curious, how does that translate to your live show? Are you bringing musicians with you on the road, or do you kind of have to rework it? How does that go?
Not on the road. It's just the 4 of us. So there is a little bit of reworking and kind of rewriting the songs because, in the studio you have illustrious production and, so many tools at your disposal, like backup singers and keyboard players and Warren Haynes.
Right.
So on the road it's just the 4 of us, but I think that kind of creates a very ruckus rock and roll vibe, and it keeps the songs fresh for us because there's kind of, there's 4 versions of each song.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're not hearing the same thing over and over again. You kind of get little different variations. Love it.
Exactly.
So you mentioned Warren Haynes. So he collaborated with you guys on Back to the River. How did this collaboration kind of come about?
Well, we had this song Back to the River. I'm a huge Warren Haynes fan. I'm a huge Allman Brothers fan. And we were recording it, and we went, what is this missing? It needs a fantastic slide solo. That's what it needs. And as great as Ben is, he is not Warren Haynes on slide. So we called him up. He said, send me the song, and I'll take a listen. And he did. And he said, I would love to play on this. And he did. And he really took that song to a whole new level and elevated it to such a high standard of music that we weren't able to accomplish without him on that track. So thank you, Warren.
Right? That's crazy. It's a great song, too. It really kind of gets you all in the feels when you're listening to it. So there's this crazy rumor going around that you're supposed to be collaborating with Eminem. Can we confirm or deny this rumor?
I keep hearing this rumor as well, and it is just that. It is simply a rumor.
Do you have any thoughts of like any collaborations in the future? Like after this one with Warren Haynes, is there something that maybe you might have in your head like, oh, I got this tune, it would work really well with somebody that you have in mind?
At the moment, no, but you never know what's gonna come around on the horizon. There's a song where there's another artist you really feel could elevate the song to another level, and you reach out to them. But there's the modern paradigm of just pairing artists together to hypothetically sell records is kind of boring to me. So
right. Unless
it has a purpose and actually will benefit the song itself, then it's not really something I'm interested in.
All right. I'm hoping personally that when this tour with Soundgarden gets underway and you guys spend more and more time together, that we're going to hear Pretty Reckless Chris Cornell collaboration. Really, I think that would be something totally epic.
Well, thank you. And that would be I wouldn't even know how to wrap my head around that. I mean, Soundgarden is one of my all-time favorite bands, so just the fact that we're getting to tour with them is amazing. My dream tour.
How does that work? Like, somebody that you have admired for, a lifetime, basically, and they're like, hey, you want to come on tour with us?
It was a crazy phone call to get, for sure.
I bet.
I played with them once before in Quebec City. We opened for them, and it was for like 90,000 people. It was a fantastic show. But this, but it was only one gig, so it'll be nice to have more than just one show with them.
Yeah,
and honestly, for me, as just a fan, I'm just excited to get to watch them play every night. I mean, their level of musicality is so high that I don't even understand it.
That's going to be insane. It's definitely one of the shows I'm looking to check out this year. You guys together is going to be so much fun. Of course, you guys have quite a few shows going up. You guys on the road. You're playing with Soundgarden. You're playing a bunch of the major music festivals. Congratulations on just getting added to Lollapalooza.
Thank you. No, it'll be good to go back. We played it once before, and it was a blast. So we're excited to go back with new material and being a little bit of an older band, and we have a little bit more of our wits together
right.
about us. So it should be great.
There's all these festivals going on, and you get on a lot of them, and some of them are like strictly rock festivals, and some of them, like Lollapalooza, have a nice mix of all kinds of genres. Is it a different experience when you're on a festival like Lolla than one like Rock on the Range?
I mean, for us, our show doesn't change. So, our show's the same. We do our thing, and we don't alter anything based on the surrounding setting. But it is fun to play festivals that are a little bit outside of your, technical genre, just to see how the audience reacts and to, maybe gain a couple new fans. You never know. For
sure. You seem like you're kind of an old soul. You're really into the classic tunes that really kind of put rock and roll on the map. And I've heard you say a few times that the grunge era was like the last big era of rock that we had. Do you feel like it is time for like a rock revival?
I do, and I think that it's coming. I think that it's starting, and it's on its way there. I always say that music is kind of cyclical. Like, I think right now we're kind of living in the 50s where it's very single orientated. The 60s came in, 60s and 70s, it was a renaissance of music. And in the 80s, it kind of went back to the pop single genre where rock bands were bending towards the pop side of, the pop vein. And then the 90s came in with a giant FU and, created, that was kind of the last, in my opinion, the last big resurgence of rock and roll. So I think we're about, it's time, and hopefully we can be a part of that.
Right. I'm with you. I know that you like to listen to a lot of the old tunes, but is there any new artists out there that you're feeling is like going to be part of this rock revival that you're kind of into at the moment?
Soundgarden.
But they're not like new. They've been around for decades.
New, but they are making new music. I mean, their last record, King Animal, was fantastic, and I hear that they've been back in the studio working on a new record. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. I mean, as far as new music, I kind of tend to listen to stranger things. Like there's a band called The Antwoord that I really love. They're more of a rap thing, but that's the cool thing about rock and roll is that there's no limitations to it. It's the ultimate freedom. It includes rap. It includes the blues, obviously, jazz, country, hip hop, all genres. So that's why I love rock and roll so much, is that it's the ultimate freedom. And as a writer and as an artist, you have no limitations, and that's an amazing feeling to have, to know that you can go in so many places and not be limited.
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Would you mind taking one question from a fan real quick before I let you get on with your day?
No, of course.
All right. So we had a listener call in earlier today when we let them know we were going to be talking to you this afternoon. John from Cohoes. He's a chef, and he wants to make sure that you guys are eating well on the road. He's curious, says, do you guys ever get a chance to cook, or what are you guys eating while you're on the road?
Oh, gosh. Eating on the road is hard. It's very difficult, especially because you inevitably play kind of late, and so by the time you're done with the show, your options are very limited. So trying to eat healthy and well tends to be a challenge. There's a lot of Thai food, a lot of Subway, a lot of cold bananas.
I gotta imagine when you're in the middle of in the middle of the country, can't be that many Thai food options.
You'd be surprised how many Thai restaurants have popped up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I don't like to eat too heavy before a show just because it weighs you down and makes you tired. So then you end up eating after the show, and at that point your options are limited.
Right.
So eating on the road is always a challenge, but you make it work.
What's the one thing that you want as soon as you get home off the road?
Home cooked food.
Like any specific meal?
I either want home cooked. I either want eggs, or I want a great New York slice pizza.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, Taylor, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes to talk to us today. You guys are going to be on the road. I think the closest show you got coming to us that still has tickets available is going to be at the Starland Ballroom in Sayreville on May 19th. Of course, go pick up the new album, Who You Sellin' For. Taylor, anything you would like to add to our listeners before I let you get on with it?
Check out the record if you haven't, and see if it's your cup of tea, and come check out the show if you haven't seen us before, because it's honestly a lot of fun.
For sure. Thank you so much, Taylor.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great one.